talking about like how we sent the link over to Facebook for them to watch it?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, I'll ask for
All right, and I got my phone if you'll text me the winners. Thank you. Hi. Let's see. It's not the right video.
All right. Where is the right one?
It's called live. Oh no, go back to your. There you go. Live openers. And then today's date.
Okay. Hello, everyone. All right, Miss Sprite, let's see if we're moving along here.
All right, there we are. There we are. Great.
And we'll be, and so they're going to broadcast
Correct.
on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yay.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great Friday, a great week. I know we did, and especially since Sprite is back with us, you know. Sprite, how was your trip to LA?
It was great. It was great. It was awesome.
Well,
So,
glad to have you back,
yeah.
and I'm sure you saw some interesting things out there. So Sprite has some amazing, what we're going to call it, cooking in the kitchen with the sublimation kitchen with Sprite.
sure, we can call it that.
Okay.
We can call
Before we
it
get
that.
started, a couple of just updates on current events. So where are we going to be next week?
Next week, you are going to be in Ohio. Very exciting.
Columbus, Ohio. I am excited. We went there a couple of years ago. It was great. So it's the NBM show in Columbus. It's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I believe my class is probably on Thursday, probably at 10 o'clock. And we'll cover, you know, just current events, best practices, fun stuff. And Sprite, you need to get me a couple of photographs of some of these cutting edge things. You know, when we do these videos, typically what we're after is showing you the latest and greatest techniques, products. And yesterday I was, when I got home, I was talking to a lady. She had just gotten her printer, and she was attempting her first transfer. She sounded like a great person, and she had decided that her first transfer would be slate.
Oh, yeah, that's a fun one.
And
That's a fun
she
one.
pressed it for about 6 seconds, and of course it didn't work. And so that was a good introduction for me to tell her what I would say are the best stepping stones on the road to sublimation success. I used all my normal analogies like learning to drive a car, learning to cook, those kinds of things to help her. But really what I recommended, documentation, and get you some white polyester fabric and practice. And then I told her we're going to go back to the slate sooner or later, do some black stripe testing. One of the things I also mentioned to her, and we've sold, I can't tell you how successful our SG800 sale has been, but it has been overwhelming. And one of the challenges with lots of folks buying printers is sometimes they'll buy a printer and we don't really have time to maybe speak with them. They bought it online, and they're missing some of the what we would call critical accessories. So in this case, this lady needed a green pad to do slate. So what I tell her is always, of course, see if we're on
I think we are.
Facebook.
I think we are.
So I always tell her, read the instructions, watch the videos, document, and then of course,
I think the feed keeps freezing for some reason.
I was looking at that.
Sorry, guys.
And hopefully it's not freezing with other people, just us.
No, did we lose them and keeps freezing?
Okay.
No.
So I don't know. Yeah,
Well, we're not live on Facebook, but there's a link on Facebook.
Okay, gotcha. Well, it's almost the same, right?
Sure, it's almost the same.
So at any rate, we hope to figure out how to get this cleared up. I wonder what's going on here.
Says it's okay now. I see y'all. I hear you. So
Okay.
sorry we're not on Facebook today.
Yeah, we got an error message when we started the broadcast, and I don't know quite what to do about the message.
We were already running late.
Yeah, we're already late,
So-
par for the course. But at any rate, so at Columbus, I hope to cover some of those things. So I'm going to be giving away coupons for people who attend my class. And if you come by the booth, I think we'll have another coupon. I hopefully have some really good deals for you to take advantage of. You should have received our email about the show. I think it's already gone out. And I think there is an email that's going out right now, right?
I hope so. Yes, sir.
So check your inbox. Getting an email, I think, is pretty darn exciting. It definitely will probably motivate you to prepare for fall. Fall is just a great season with Halloween, with all the activities at the schools, and got Thanksgiving coming up. I wonder why that is doing
I think
that.
we just need to refresh it. There we go. We're good. We're good.
So you got lots of reasons to start planting seeds. And the main thing is you make samples. You show people what you can do. Post it. Just get out there and push.
That's right.
That is the way to do it. Also, we have the Sublimation Summit coming up in late September. I think it's,
The 27th and 28th.
27th, 28th. Wow.
Yep.
It is coming up fast. And that's got to be, in my opinion, the best sublimation educational opportunity of the year, definitely, and probably beyond that. And so if you go to sublimationsummit.com, Sprite and I will be both there. Somebody said there 800 arrived today also.
Nice.
We will be teaching classes. Each of us will teach 2 classes per day, and should be exciting. I'm going to teach, I'm tuning my class right now. Cheryl shared a lot of insight into what people are saying about the summit, trying to really increase the excitement, the value of attending these classes. So should be great. What are you teaching about?
So we're going to cover a lot of stuff in my class. We're going to go over branding your products and marketing and designing for products, and then that's the first class, and then the second class is going to be all the new stuff. So you know, the new technologies and all the stuff that people may not be up to speed on. So
Cool, cool,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So we ready?
Yeah, we got a webinar coming up on the 17th of September, Making Money with Sublimation, You and Sawgrass. It is the pet market.
Pet market is one of my favorite markets, so we'll work on that, and should be a great webinar. If you cannot attend the webinars just like this, we do record them for your later viewing. We know everybody may have conflicts, busy schedule, whatever. They actually may be out there sublimating, you know,
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And so last week we missed out on, you know, some of
The prizes that
Yeah.
I give, you know.
yeah, there was quite a few people that, you know, geez.
Yeah.
All right, Sprite, what you gonna do today?
Okay, so Joseph, I am not going to Ohio. Sorry. And then Dale at Blackbird Studios, if you're watching, I'm going to email you today with your stuff. I apologize, I didn't do it before I went on vacation. Okay.
No, we're not letting Sprite out anymore.
It's
It's a disruptive influence around here. I think
I heard it was rough.
to do that.
All right, well, I've been working on templates, and so we're going to do some full bleed mugs. We're going to do a camp mug, a latte mug, the Octagon mug, and just a regular old 11-ounce mug. So, let's see, where are my temperatures?
We're going to eventually do the, is it the poly steel mug?
Yeah,
Whatever we
yes, the
call
L
that?
mug 17SS.
Okay.
So let's, we're going to start with the TUM 211. So I'm excited about this one. Oh, guys, and don't forget, you have a chance to win the artwork that I pressed today, and also, what else? What else do they win? Oh, yeah, all the blanks that I press. Jeez, I forgot.
I think there's a catch, though.
Yeah, you
somewhere in there.
you gotta figure something out for me. But we'll talk about that when it gets time.
So the new Drinkware is shipping, and they are very exciting.
It is exciting. It is very exciting. All right, so this is the TUM 211. This is our 30-ounce Octagon bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the design and I'm going to run it all the way down onto the base. So the first pattern that is up for grabs is this really cute peacock pattern. It's called, I think it's just called Peacock, and you can get this on condedesign.com. Kathy, if you're looking for mug wraps, they're under dye wraps, but if you're looking for the shrink film, it's under SubliShrink. So if you go to the product page, all of the accessories should be on that product page. Okay, so I'm just going to tape my artwork down. I feel really bad about not getting Facebook up and running because I had like 3 people ask if we were going live on Facebook, but that's all right.
So hopefully it's the same thing, but it sounds like Facebook may have changed some of their policies, and our broadcasting software just doesn't work. So what happens if you just simply do a full bleed design top to bottom?
So, well, So this mug is curved, and it has a really weird curve because it's thinner at the top, thicker in the middle, and then thin at the bottom. So in order to go all the way around, you're going to have a little bit of bunching at the top and a little bit of bunching on the bottom. Now I've done this one all the way around, and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. So you can definitely do it.
It'd be interesting just to see what happens.
Well,
I mean, all the way.
oh, like all the way down?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know about that because I don't know if I can get it over that curve there.
I mean, you just like put it in the bag and shrink it and let the bag be the tape and just hit it with heat and see what happens.
Okay.
You know, maybe it's an effect that, you know, works out there. Probably not, but inquiring minds want to know, Miss Sprite.
I know. Welcome to my life, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I should have done a couple of these.
we often learn from you folks out there, sharing your discoveries, your tips, and we do absolutely appreciate everyone. It's one of the great pleasures in life to be at the show, for instance, and have people come up and share sort of what's working for them so that we can share it with others.
Yeah, you guys are so creative. All the the product ideas and just the ideas you come up with are just fantastic. All right. This is 8 little things that I have to tape. I should have done a couple of them before we started, but that's all right.
So yeah, a question about, it says David's
living dangerously.
I wonder what that means.
I don't know. There's no telling what that's in reference to.
Yeah, so you know, just to review for people, in the recent past, the way we did mugs were either in a mug press or in an oven with what was called a mug wrap. And the mug wrap was, you put the transfer on there, cover sheet, and then put this rubber contraption around it and put it in your oven. And I think that served us well. In fact, I would say the majority of the companies we sell to that have the big Hicks ovens, that's how they do it today, and they probably aren't going to change. But as we were working on new style drinkware, as the drinkware got taller, as the drinkware got bigger, as the drinkware no longer had a handle, then wraps started losing their appeal. They just weren't getting the job done. Probably the most classic example will be a shot glass. Wraps are just painful. And then SubliShrink came along and really changed the way we do sublimation.
I'll be back. I don't have my heat gun because I wasn't here last week, so everything
so,
is in disarray.
I'll do my best to keep going. So so the wraps, I think, will continue to work great for 11 and 15 ounce mugs, but the SubliShrink has so many advantages with doing more of the mug, which Sprite has done in the past, getting really underneath the handle. And so I think that ultimately is the ticket. That is the way to do drinkware. It's certainly the most flexible way. But anyway, going back to the shot glass, you always have a seam where the wrap is. Some people would take especially the red rubber and wrap it around so there was no seam. And so those techniques work, but we were still looking for what I would call the most flexible technique that would allow us to, for instance, do the very tall steel drinkware like these. I mean, just awesomely amazing. Because you've got to have a wrap that this is this tall, and then you've got to deal with, well, there's no handle. So just a host of issues, and so SubliWrap came in the picture, and so just absolutely amazing breakthrough. And that goes to show that there are going to be lots more. And you know, what we talk about is the big picture for sublimation is really 3 things. And it's the stuff we do at the computer, it's the sublimation process, and then it's sales and marketing. And so that's the value equation. So everybody, pretty much with a little practice, should do a good job with the process. You know, the process is things like, you know, the quality of the print on paper, your color matching skills, which we can help with, and of course having a good printer, the correct paper helps, and then of course pressing is time, temperature, pressure, technique.
Sorry, kind of interrupting you there.
Yeah, no problem.
I apologize. So I have a couple people asking about the oven, which I think is like our favorite question to answer on Fridays. So this is the Hamilton Beach Large Capacity Convection Oven. And can you read that model number off for me?
The model is 31108.
31108.
31108.
We got this.
And there is no perfect oven yet.
Well, there is, but it's the size of a washing machine, and it's my Hicks, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah. So the big boys and big girls that do lots and lots of mugs, use conveyor heat ovens. And the brand we sell is Hix, H-I-X. They're a great company. And they make a smaller stationary oven. The smaller stationary oven is sort of almost what you'd call a scientific grade oven. It looks really nice. Its heat is amazing. So it puts out a whopper amount of heat.
Okay.
It's expensive, but you're certainly getting your money's worth. But in that market, you know, if you really need something like that, maybe you just go ahead and buy a conveyor oven from Hix, and we can help you with that if you need it. But ultimately, you have to have the volume. So what I tell people is that if you think you've got the volume, then maybe what you do is we can help you outsource it to one of our clients that is in that business, and then you can prove your business model. So once you've proven it, you know how much money you're going to make, you've got steady business coming in to run the oven, then you can buy one, get it installed. They run on electricity. They do require, you know, spending some money on the electrical hookup, and we can help with all those, sort of like buying a big George Knight Maxi.
Yeah, and so I have a lot of people that ask me about the oven, and really.
And this really set us back, didn't it? These things are incredibly expensive.
People don't know that you're joking. No, we bought this for $75 at Walmart.
Is that tax included?
What is it, like 10%? So 77 bucks, 80 bucks?
So it is very inexpensive.
But how we picked this oven, I found a tall water bottle at Walmart, and I walked to the oven section and I started sticking water bottles in ovens, and I found one that it fit, that was convection, that went up to 400 degrees, and that's it. That's the only, that's it. I mean, it's 80 bucks. You do 5 mugs, you've made your money back plus some. So I don't think you can go wrong.
I don't think you can too. And now, because you don't have to buy wraps. Wraps are not expensive, but they certainly cost something, maybe $20, $30, $40. I can't remember how much. But at any rate, and wraps ultimately wear out. But if you take good care of them, they're going to last for a while. But ultimately, a better solution was needed, and it turned out to be SubliShrink.
So I've got a couple of questions. So Bill asks, and this is a good question, Bill, when printing to my SG800, which printer driver do I use in Corel?
So if you're a Corel person, you should be using the what's called the RPCS driver, and we would help you install that, and you would use the SpectraFusion profile along with the settings. So if that sounds Greek to you, you can call and we can walk you through that. So here at Conde, we have our own color department, and these folks build color profiles for little printers, and they build profiles for big printers, and then we bundle them together with the driver and the proper settings so that when you print, you're going to get the very best color that application and the color gamut of the printer are capable of. And so we call that SpectraFusion, and SpectraFusion is just our profile being embedded in Corel and Adobe products so that there is less mistranslation of color. When you print to the driver, either Mac or PC, you're relying a lot on the application to translate it to, say, an RGB color space, and then ultimately translate it to the device space. Using an embedded profile in the application, it's better. So you don't really need to understand it, but just know that our recommendation is, if you're using a professional graphics application like a Corel product, like Adobe product, even a Silhouette product, we would recommend that you use SpectraFusion. If you bought your printer from us, if you're buying your inks from us, SpectraFusion is free. And so there's no money involved in you choosing which way to print. If you're using Creative Studio, you will need to use Sawgrass's VPM Virtuoso Print Manager. because it doesn't directly use the base driver. It handles the print itself. So if all this is confusing, you can call, speak to us, speak to your rep. But the bottom line is, ultimately, when you learn to sublimate, you learn to press stuff and all that, then, where do you go from there? Well, substrates, all the great and exciting substrates. And then number two is, how do you do a great job at color and quality? And so those are the areas that in the process world are so much, to me, they're so fun and interesting. SpectraFusion makes it easy to get great color. Now, garbage in is still garbage out. And so one of the things I'm going to teach about, for instance, at the Sublimation Summit, is we're going to go into a few minutes of detail about matching spot colors, like color of a school. So you're trying to match, you're going to sell to a school, or you're going to sell through their spirit store or something, then you really want to nail their color. It's not good enough to be close. Everybody at that darn school knows what their color is. And so it irks me to no end when you go into one of these licensed merchandise stores and you're looking at, and here it'd be Alabama and Auburn, but you're looking and it seems like everything is a different color, a shade of red, shade of orange, and that just irks me because, you should be getting the color right. And so University of Alabama specifies, I'm sure, a particular Pantone solid coated color that is the University of Alabama, and that's what it should be. And so if you're trying to match Pantone colors, we can help you, but the first step in matching a Pantone color is to get a Pantone book. All right, Miss Sprite is removing the SubliShrink off of it.
That's right, and I had a couple questions. One was, how do I get the SubliShrink so smooth? And Lisa, it really doesn't matter if it's smooth, but I guess I would say that it's just practice. But I'm going to show you kind of a little trick that I do here in a second. And then I also had a question about this mug not needing a wrap, and as you guys can see, I definitely used a wrap on this. And I had a question about the shout letters. So these love letters on the wall are sublimated, and I think they're called, what are they, like BOS1, or I don't remember the item number, but they're called our shout letters. This is the first time I've ever struggled getting this stuff off. All right.
And it's hot, folks, so that,
just a little bit, just a little bit.
So the question, this is a great question. It says, what substrates can I purchase from Conde that will work in a convection or oven process? Convection oven process. That is a question with a lot of things that you can put in there. So I would say every day it's growing. And there are people out there that are working hard to put even more things in the oven, things that we traditionally would say, hey, that normally would go on a flat press. So, but certainly things that the most drinkware will go in the oven. There are a few pieces of drinkware that are not. Today I had a client, it was actually some of the salespeople were wondering if the poly mugs could go into the oven. Now the poly mugs are 100% plastic mugs, and the answer is no, because when it's heated enough around the entire poly mug, the handle will lose its shape. And so that's an example of a product that does need to be done in a traditional mug press. So at the show we had in Long Beach, a bunch of people were asking sort of the same question. They go, well, got this oven thing and seems to be going well.
This is a lot. I'm sorry.
Huh?
There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah,
all right, I got it.
So,
ooh, that looks good though.
It really does. Wow. So they were asking, should I buy a mug press? And of course, You know, a lot of the mug press companies probably want to put the kibosh on SubliShrink because you don't need a mug press to do those. But I got to thinking about it, and you know, if you're doing 11 and 15 ounce mugs on demand, wow, let me back it up a little bit. All right, there you go. If you're doing lots of 11 and 15 ounce mugs, a mug press like a George Knight DK3 is so convenient.
So two of my little things didn't come out, so I'm going to show you guys that.
So,
it's probably a pressure issue. I'm not real sure. I don't know
Huh.
how that happened. But, and I can see, so I don't know if you guys see this. So see right here where it's a little bit darker, that's where the tape was, so it had a little more pressure. So I think if I just taped them a little better, but this was a lot of tape, but it still looks really good. So first pattern up for grabs. Yay. Sorry, David, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Interesting. So,
Yeah,
let's see that.
we'll have to figure
Is
that
it
out.
still hot?
No, no, sir.
So you had two panels, and
So, and I think what happened is that the SubliShrink kind of bubbled in that area once it got under the heat. So I don't know. I don't know. That's interesting. You know, that's something I'll have to play with a little bit.
okay.
But no big deal. You guys saw it here first. Okay.
And when you do make a mistake, you want to analyze it instead of throwing it away.
Yeah.
So this would be an example of you know, put it on your wall of shame, so to speak. But it's a matter of first figuring out why it happens, so you can figure it out.
It takes a lot of twist to get the SubliShrink off, what keeps it from having ghosting marks. So Margie, you just want to make sure that your transfer is taped really well, and you want to pull the SubliShrink off and then pull the transfer off. Okay, so Lisa, we're going to talk about wrinkles in the shrink film. So, and I've also had a question about there being a lot of excess shrink film. So I have one of our tall skinny Tums, I think this is Tum 218. And then this is our SF79. Now for this tumbler, we recommend the SF94, but in a pinch, you can use the 79. And this is kind of the trick that I've started doing. So I've got my mug kind of sitting here, and then I'm gonna put my hand on it just like this, and I'm just gonna heat this excess. All right, you wanna zoom?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna heat this excess, and it's gonna pull, and then I can just go around. Boop, boop, boop. I like to work in a circular pattern, but I don't really think it matters. I haven't really come up with a super great technique yet. You know, not like a time-saving. It's quick, it's easy, and even if there are wrinkles in it, it's not too big of a deal. So, like I said, this was my Tum 218 with the SF94, and you can see where there was this excess material. Maybe you guys can see that. It kind of didn't really wrinkle, but it just kind of, there's a lot of material right there. But that's going to sublimate fine. Everything looks great. And Darcy, I am using a heat gun. We got this heat gun from Harbor Freight. I think it was like 20 bucks. It's a 120 volt, 750 to 500, 1500 watt, 572 to 1000 degrees, dual temp heat gun. Okay. Next.
What are we going to do next?
What are we going to do next? Next we're going to do a camp mug. Yay. So we got the CM11 right here, and I got this cute design that I'm going to do, and one on the handle. So for the handle, all we have to do is just use some tape and tape it down. You want to make sure that that tape is running all the way up and down, acting just like the SubliShrink. So you want to make sure it's nice and tight on there. Maybe I'll use 2 pieces just to be sure. Okay. And then I'm going to take my design. I already have my design cut out. And then I'm going to place it on there.
And that's the template they can download?
I did, yes, they should be able to download this as of today, I believe. Okay, guys, I am still working on the 15-ounce template. I promise. I was on vacation, you know.
Yeah, we've received a lot of feedback of people doing lots and lots of 11-ounce full bleed mugs now. So that really is starting to catch on as mainstream, and that's super cool.
Ooh, I'm trending. Isn't that fun? I'm trending. All right, so got this. Now we're going to put my SubliShrink on it. So I've got the SF79 again. I'm going to cut a hole about 2 inches from the bottom, just big enough so the handle can fit in.
Because if we didn't, the shrink wrap would sort of lift off the parts of the mug near the handle.
Yeah, it makes like a tent. I think it's actually called tinting. All right, so I'm going to pull it through, make sure I have enough, my slit is big enough, and then I'm just going to take a piece of heat tape under the handle and kind of tape it closed.
And that's, of course, to keep the hole, the slit, if you will, from increasing in size.
So I take this and I just fold it up and set it and stick it inside. But if you wanted to, you could trim it, because I see a lot of people using their excess pieces. You could trim the top and use it for something else. SubliShrink is so versatile and so forgiving.
That is so cool.
I know, my favorite part of the day is shrink filming, or shrinking shrink film. Okay, so we're going to do this one, 375 for 6 minutes. Let me get my timer on. Eddie, I see you're watching. Can you start timing? Eddie! Okay. I'm going to put my rack in just because I just don't want it sitting on the bottom, and it's really not a, I don't have to have the rack in, I guess, but I have a lot of questions.
One of the marks of a good convection oven is evenness of heat. And I'm wondering if one side of this, if it's really the transfer, or maybe we got some uneven heat.
No, I think it's, I think it was the, because I saw it in the oven bubble out a little bit.
Okay.
So
it lifted a little bit.
But I think, because you see right here, that's where the tape was. So I think it just needs more tape. Just gotta tape it, tape it, tape it.
Okay.
How many camp mugs do you think you could fit at one time in that particular oven? Well, Darcy, so you could fit a lot, but you don't want to overload the oven, because then your heat is just, it's not going to circulate correctly. So I would say maybe 4.
Be a matter
Maybe.
of just trying.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But you know, that's one of the things you want to do is calibrate and document. So, for instance, let's say you've got a batch of, you're collecting some mugs that didn't work out, something went wrong. So you can take those and use those as your test subjects and sublimate, say, a black stripe around it. And black is being the last color to sublimate, that would be a good test to determine, okay, what's the correct time for, say 6 minutes. Another technique is to, let's say you're trying to do 6. So put 6 in there, but only put a transfer on, say, 1, you know, and that's probably a pretty good shot as far as just progressing to lock in your transfer technique. If you overcook, typically black is going to turn brown. It actually depends on the nature of the ink, but the typical Epson and the SubliJet-HD, SubliJet-R inks, those tend to turn black and brown. On our big printers that we use here, black actually turns green. So there, you know, it does depend on the ink, but most of the time for people watching, it's going to turn brown if you overcook it.
Yeah, and so Darcy, it's not going to be 4 mugs in 6 minutes. You're probably going to have, you're going to have to add time for each mug. So I'm not sure what that time is going to be, because you have more surface area that requires a little more heat.
It could be 20 seconds or 30 seconds, something like that, but it's like a bigger pot boils slower. So if you're cooking more stuff in the oven, then you're going to need to go a little longer. You know, sort of just basics.
So Karen, do me a favor and email tech support with your SubliShrink issue. That's support@conde.com. And also, Donna, I can't locate the 11-ounce mug template. It should be on the product page under templates. And then that's also where
So
you
is
can...
it, if they'll go to like they're going to go buy a mug 11, is it there?
It should be, yes, sir. It should
Yeah.
be under the templates.
So just go look for a mug 11 like you're going to buy it and see if it's there. Somebody asked about time and temperature. So if you go to where you would buy the product, underneath it you're going to see some tabs. One of the tabs is instructions. Generally at that point it'll be a link you click that will take you, show you, you know, the stacking order, different time and temps. The time and temps for the products are usually a good place to start, but ultimately when you're first dialing in a substrate, you know, you're going to need to critique your results. And as I just mentioned about black, that's a great color to sort of critique yourself over being it the last color to sublimate. So if you got a great looking black, which is typically an RGB of 000, then you're good. You know, I know we're going to question, should I design in RGB, whatever, or CMYK, but we want to be in the RGB world, larger color gamut than typical CMYK working spaces like swap. Is the Hicks countertop oven more consistent on heat with doing multiple mugs? Yes. The Hicks oven is a tremendous joy. I mean,
it's amazing. It sounds like a jet when you turn it on. It's fascinating. I love it.
You know, I mean, it's like, you know, all cars have 4 wheels. Some cars are really nice, you know, and so the Hicks oven is just, as I said, it's like a medical grade piece of equipment. And I talked to Henry at the Hicks Corporation, trade emails with me today. He tries to keep me up to date on all the things they're doing, and I think they're about to. They may have rolled out their next gen fixed oven. They put in all digital controls and did all sorts of wild stuff, and so maybe what we need to do, Sprite, is work a deal on our oven.
Take a field trip?
No, work a deal on our oven to some person out there that really wants that real consistent oven. So if you're interested in it, go look at the website and maybe contact your Conde rep for, what do you call that? Sort of like the, you know, I guess it's sort of demo equipment price on there, and do it. Sprite and I need to do some videos back there at it. You know, that's one of the things we've really not done because it's in a different part of our facility. But the that oven, it looks nice. It works extremely nice. I mean, what was the time we were getting on 11 ounce? Like 11 minutes or something?
We were doing 6
6 minutes?
11 ounce. No, we were doing 6 11-ounce mugs for 13 minutes, or I don't even think it was 13. I think it was 11 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was way under there. It was surprising, and if you think about it, that's the physics of sublimation. Is that you know, if you have a larger heat source, then sublimation is going to occur faster.
So I've got a lot of questions. Okay, so can you scroll up, because I forgot what they were. And my name is Sprite, just so you know, which is funny.
I thought that was just your stage name.
It is.
Is that your real name?
Okay,
where are you looking?
Okay. Okay, Karen, I got you. Will you get marks if you lay a substrate on its side? Okay, Pamela, yes. So what you need to do is lay a piece of Nomex in your oven, preheat the Nomex, then lay your substrate in the oven, and halfway through your press time, your dwell time, you want to flip it. And that way, the seam that's sitting on the Nomex heats evenly. Suna asked, what's the difference between the gold tape and the regular tape? So the gold tape is more heat conductive. So if you were to take and tape right over the image, then the gold tape is going to sublimate, and then the white tape is not. All right, so I did this.
So, so somebody asked, I think is that Riley Grace?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Yes, Riley. So, an inexpensive drinkware item that's not going to break the bank.
I've got a twist on their answer, though. Hear me out.
Go ahead.
So, I've talked about it a couple of times already. The concept is dirt simple. Take that piece of drinkware, and for instance, let's say it's the tall, slender things here, okay? What you do is you print out just a black stripe, and you put it all the way around, and then put the SubliShrink over it, put it in the oven, and then you review your results. Then you put another black stripe on it, put it back in the oven. So what you can do is you can put, I don't know, maybe 10 black stripes on this without, you know, wasting 2. You only waste 1. And so that way you can dial in the exact transfer instructions that are for your oven. And so that technique is what I preach to everyone, especially people that are doing what I would say the more difficult substrates like slate. Slate has a long dwell time, and if you think about the error, let's say it's 4 minutes, you know, and you make a 10% error, you know, well, a 10% error on 4 minutes is almost 30 seconds. So bottom line is, doing this technique with stripes is a little painfully slow, but it is infinitely valuable because you're not wasting products. You're only wasting 1. You're just sublimating over and over again in a different spot.
Okay, so also, Riley, just so you know, I'm about to do this mug, and this is our Mug 03, and it's on sale right now for 75 cents.
Is it Mug 03 or Mug 03A?
Mug 03.
Yeah. Okay, it is.
Mug 03, I looked it up.
So we call that our
Mako
mug,
mug, like a shark.
right? By the way, if people want to know about your bottle over there.
Yeah, man, okay.
That's not a sublimation bottle.
Can I tell you? So I'm going through TSA, coming back from LA, and they flag me, of course, and they pull my stuff, and they start looking through it, and she pulls my water bottle out, and it has water in it, and she goes, you know, you're going to have to go back through. And I said, well, I can't just drink it. And she goes, well, I can toss the bottle. This is an $80 water bottle. It's a little expensive. But anyways,
so
this
what
is...
did you do?
So I had to go back around through customs
So they
again.
wouldn't allow you to drink it?
They wouldn't let me drink it. They wouldn't let me pour it out. And
You couldn't, like, touch it?
no, I wasn't allowed to touch it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to make a little decision there.
So, well, there was no decision. I was absolutely keeping the bottle. No, this is a Hydro Flask. So it's not sublimatable. But some of my stickers are. I made some of my stickers.
Did you use the mates or the SubliWrap?
The SubliWrap.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So SubliWrap, for folks that want to make skins for their laptop, stickers, check out SubliWrap. It is super easy.
Oh. I almost messed it up. Didn't tape underneath here.
Yep. If you don't tape underneath there, the seam will pull apart, and it interferes a little bit with the transfer underneath.
Yeah,
So-
you can get a little bit of modeling, I guess is a good word for it, where it just doesn't sublimate fully. Yeah, Donna, I think it's called template for